Hello and welcome to Ripple High Chat. I'm here with Chris Szkup, a phenomenal artist who's been doing a lot of projects out on his own and also collaborating with many different artists from around the world, putting together a fine band called the Feckers. Chris, tell us what's been happening in your life lately.
Yeah, how you going?
Very good, mate.
Excellent. It's good to talk finally too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been doing a bit of radio the last couple of weeks for the Feckers album. That came out in March, and the last few weeks it's been kind of hitting, I guess, stations around the country as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just did some in-studio performances and things the other week, and kind of jamming with Irene, my cousin, who sings on the album.
Yeah, I've just listened to some of her stuff. Is she the one that features on Wasted Years?
She is actually, yeah.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, so we both hail from Tasmania, but she's in Melbourne full time now.
Yep.
And at the moment we're pretty much jamming up a set worth of songs, and we're going to get out there and do acoustic shows, and we're going to start busking as well, because we can, something different. So.
Yeah.
Plenty happening, recording as well at home, so keeping busy.
Now, Just, which you released is an early track from before. You were telling me before it's been out for a while, but how about that Sammy Hagar you got singing for you? I want to touch on him now. You're telling me he comes from Norway, bit of a character, yeah.
He is, yeah. Yeah, like I was saying, we've never met, which is the case with a lot of the musicians on the Feckers album. But he's from Norway, and his name's Roy Brattbakken, and I apologise to Roy if I didn't pronounce that correctly, but
yeah,
he's just a character. I'm told that he works out doing weights and drinks a beer at the same time, so that's classic, man.
Yeah, that must be fascinating too. How did you get into that field where I did do an article, you got in contact with somebody from New Zealand initially, and you were doing some work with him, a bit of collab writing and songwriting, and it stopped for a while, and then it rekindled itself. Did you want to talk on that a bit? And that's how the Feckers grew. Is that right? From that?
It was me and the guy from New Zealand that you mentioned. His name's Richard Anderson.
Yep.
He's a lyricist for the most part, and we started talking via, many won't remember these, but Yahoo groups, like an email list kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is back in the late 1990s, and we're just kind of feeling each other out, this guy writes songs, this guy writes words, and started to kind of swap things through the post very slowly back then. And the song we mentioned before, Just, was actually the first one that we did, I think.
Yep.
I think that was 1999. And we just chipped away. I mean, neither of us had much money back then, so I guess the album was a fair way off because, we couldn't afford to make it yet, but we just kept piling up the songs, writing as much as we could, and we always figured that we'd get back to it, and 2013 was the year, funnily enough.
And it's come together. It's come together well, though. It's packaged really well, and you'd have to be pretty happy with the way it's gone for you.
Yeah, we're very happy actually. The right people just along the way reared their heads. They came into our lives, friends and friends of friends and things like that, and it just grew like all monsters grow.
Yeah.
And, we're stoked with how it turned out. So.
Yeah. Now, getting back to your own career and your own wonderful music, listening to Eat Pop Slop, and where did you come up with that name? and what's it about? I mean, I like the tribal chants going on in the song itself as well. How did that come about, that title?
Okay. The word Eat Pop Slop comes from when I was a young lad in Tasmania. We had a metal band called Jigsaw.
Yep.
And it was just a silly word that kind of almost don't remember. It was like a drunken night, and this word was born somehow, and it ended up being the title of our CD that we were kind of doing at the time.
Yep.
And yeah, when it came time to my own stuff, I wanted to have a title that kind of referenced those old days, and it's just thrown on the end of that title as a reference and like a silly joke kind of thing.
Yep.
And I guess the tribal nature of the song, you know, it's not a real imaginative title, but I like it anyway.
But your music, it's there's a lot of variations happening, a lot of different genres that creep in, some of which is purely just instrumental, like listening to From Within. You've got violin strings and all sorts going on in there as well, and it's just soft and soothing and mellow and a beautiful piece of music. And then you go to a screen, where it's just sort of, you know, heavy. And then speaking of transition, I love the mood that has. That's got a nice, very deep, but you know, it's just got a lot of mood about it. I don't know how to explain it, but it's quite good. Talk to us about your influences and where you draw your influences from. That'd be great. Yeah.
I just try to take in things from, you know, as many different places as I can. I mentioned the metal band before, which is kind of where I started out as a really young teenager, but you know, almost straight away I was getting into Queen, and then, you know, more classic rock, and you know, from listening to Megadeth, I heard that the guitar player Marty was into a guy called Kitaro. I thought, you know, you go off and check that out and think, if this guy Kitaro inspired Marty and made him play these things, you know, I've got to hear it.
I've got some of his stuff on tape, actually.
Oh yeah.
and for meditation and all that, excellent stuff. I love it. Yeah, and yeah, I like the naturistic atmosphere he brings into his music.
Yeah,
it's very soothing and spiritual almost. Yeah. And atmospheric as well. There's just a lot of keyboards and all that sort of stuff going on, and so that surprises me that you're getting into guitar.
Oh, I've got a pile of CDs now. I've got 14 CDs. I get a lot of stick for it, but I love it. He actually has some cool guitar pieces too as well. Yeah. Like here and there, he's quite a good electric player, and I don't love every single thing that he's done that I've heard, but you know, I take a bit from it and combine it with my Megadeth and my Queen, and you know, out pops the songs, I guess. I don't know. So.
Yeah. And has it been easy through the years, or have you found it's been hard work in progress, or?
I guess.
Are you naturally gifted? Is what I'm wanting to find out. You know.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't really know, but.
Well, you fell into the singing aspect, haven't you? You sort of felt that you were compelled to sing because no one else was going to step up. Are you?
I'm stuck. I don't know. But I wanted to sing them.
Are you finding it any easier singing? Is that?
Yeah, that's quite tricky for me. I mean, I don't really rate myself a singer at all. I think there's always something to learn, and with singing, for me, that's especially the case. You know, more so.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it more, and it's probably easier than it was. But yeah, it's always there's always more to go, I guess.
Yeah.
Guitar-wise, again, there's always stuff to learn, and you're always evolving. But that's obviously not a lot more natural to me than the singing side of things. But I just love the journey, you know. I love finding new things and exploring. It's great.
Yeah, and talk us through with your tour dates. Have you got? I mean, you're talking about busking as well as getting out and doing a few little acoustic tours with certain sections of people that you've met.
Yep.
Is there anything that you're looking at interstate wise, or have you got any manager that you assigned to that helps you get gigs, or do you purely do it yourself?
Yeah, it's all just us. No third parties or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. I guess the funny thing for us is, the nature of the Feckers is how we're all so spread out. We've got, like our drummer, Dennis, for example, lives in New Jersey, so he can't really make any gigs, but and Russian vocalist Alexei, more New Jersey singers, so it's kind of hard to gig on that stuff, I guess. But where we're headed at the moment is my cousin Irene Slade has recently moved to Melbourne. She's like me and originally was from Tasmania, but she's close to me now, a couple of suburbs away, so we're going to start playing acoustic gigs and see what happens, maybe add some people if we find the right players, and build up a little ensemble, and looking at maybe heading across to Adelaide next year to play some things and see what's happening there. And
we certainly look forward to catching up. Yeah, look forward to catching up. Yeah, we've got a few little places over here in Adelaide which would be keen to have you play. It's particularly acoustic wise. Shamrock Shenanigans is another one that's a great little acoustic venue where a lot of
all that one actually.
Yeah, and that's a great little venue. And South Coast Raw also put together some good shows as well, which we've got South Coast Raw Fest come this Saturday. They put on a final show with a number of different bands, but once a month they put on a show down at the Port Noarlunga Football Oval there, and it's good. So yeah, we'll certainly do our best to accommodate you when you come to Adelaide if you're looking for any assistance there.
Oh, thanks so much.
Yeah. Anything else that you want to get out to the public? Maybe some of your where can the public get your music from?
Sure. So we're obviously on Facebook under the Feckers, or myself, Chris Szkup, spelled SZKUP.
So I pronounce it wrong because I said Skizzip, so it's Szkup. It's Szkup, is it?
Yeah, that's it. I probably didn't click because I get it so much, so I didn't really notice. But, when someone gets it right, then that makes me kind of go, huh? But yeah, and I mean we've got .coms and things like that. There's my own website is cs-songs.com. So
I've seen your website; it looks fantastic. Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. But you on Bandcamp at all or anything like that where people can buy your music?
I am, but it's kind of slow going. Like our main setup is on the website. So mycssongs.com, and there's thefeckers.net as well. And we've just got little kind of PayPal stores there. I just need to do an update on the Bandcamp, but we find that those ones work pretty well. So.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. Yeah. It's good that it's all working out, Chris. And we look forward to catching up again. You've been one of the first ever members that have jumped on Ripple Hive, and we thank you for your support. And from our end to you, we thank you very much for investing the time that you have on the site, and hopefully it'll grow and become stronger and better and accommodate a lot more bands, young upcoming bands, and we can build it to where we want it to be. So for that, I want to thank you personally because you've been there from day dot. Also, I want to mention that Chris donated money to the broadcast license too as well, part of a number of people that collectively donated money, and I want to acknowledge that as well, and thank you very much for that. That was very kind of you, and we appreciate that. So at the moment, for all of us, the way this site's running is voluntarily, and any financial assistance we can get, we certainly appreciate. But this site aims to not rely on donations, but hopefully give back. So in the future, we hope we can build that site up to that case. But Chris, thanks so much for spending time talking to us, and we certainly wish you well for your acoustic venture that you're trying to start up and get out and about. And be sure to get in contact with us if you're heading over to Adelaide. We'll organise some events and tour dates for you or something.
Oh, absolutely, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'll just say back at you too. I mean, as far as the funding of the site and everything, like I just always appreciated, since we came into contact, how it's easy to say, well, this kind of sucks. The industry's going downhill, but you guys are doing something about it, and I always appreciated that. And that's the way. Be proactive and do what you can. So
hopefully soon, by public demand, if people could somehow just grab onto it and listen to it, it might put pressure on some of the commercial stations to start supporting live Australian music, current live Australian music. That's what I think needs to be supported a lot more. So we can't be stuck in the 80s, 70s. I respect all our founders that put Australia on the map in regards to music, but we need to look after current Australian market. It's part of growing, isn't it, as a nation?
Absolutely, man.
Yeah. But thanks again, Chris. I'll stop dribbling now, and we'll catch up soon. All right, mate. Take care. See ya. Bye bye.